Welcome back at 7:41. This morning, law enforcement in Louisiana and across the region are searching for the 2 inmates still on the run. 3 were captured yesterday in the Houston area and in Baton Rouge. Fox 8 legal analyst Joe Responti joins us this morning to discuss the situation, Joe, that is now in day 11. Good morning and thanks for joining
Good morning.
us. So, Joe, yesterday, police in the Houston area, just outside of Houston, captured Leo Tate and Jermaine Donald after a brief police chase. So let's start off with those 2. What happens to them? They're in, I think it's Walker County, Texas right now in jail, and they'll face charges in Texas first,
right.
I presume?
I didn't know that there was a police chase when you all first contacted me. They are going to face what we call in Louisiana something like aggravated flight from an officer, and possibly other charges. So they got to deal with those. Usually, and I say usually, they deal with those first,
okay, and
then they get extradited back to Louisiana to deal with the escape charges, and then the original
charge.
underlying charges that they had.
Right. So this situation is going to go on for quite some time. And then yesterday in Baton Rouge, police there caught Linton Van Buren. And so what would happen with his case?
Well, there's no extradition for him because he got caught in Louisiana. I don't know what the circumstances were, if he's got to go back and deal with something in East Baton Rouge Parish. But that's a little easier to do when it's within the same state. But the thing with Texas, they'll have to work it out.
So we're now in day 11 of this search, Joe. This is something that and I'll preview people at home. Typically, you and I have a conversation about what we're going to discuss on air beforehand, but going to throw you a curveball here. What really has been interesting is hearing all of the names of these people arrested for allegedly assisting these 10 escapees. I guess first, let's talk about that. This is so layered, so complicated, but you would assume that if these people got out and away from the jail, it would take resources, it would take assistance to get out and stay out, correct?
Well, remember, these guys have no money, they have no clothes, they have no food, they've got nothing. Okay, so, and everybody supposedly is looking for them, and there are pictures all over the television. So they've got to lay low, and they got to get assistance to get those things I just named, just as bare basics. Then, if they had any sense, they'd get away from the city of New Orleans. But I find it amazing, for the first 5 guys it was true, that they get caught within 10 miles of the jail. So these last 2 fellas, you know, if you asked me, I'd have probably bet in the beginning those were the 2 that were going to be most resourceful, and it appears that that's the case. I don't, you know, we don't know where they are. The longer it goes, you know, obviously, the more resources they can accumulate, the further distance they can go, it gets harder to find them. So maybe they're going to now focus just on those 2 and see what we can come up with.
Joe, I know we're still a long way away from what I'm about to ask you right now, but what potentially could a trial look like as it pertains to this case? Once we get all of these inmates back in custody, once the police have brought in everyone they believe assisted them, what would a trial, or what would this even look like?
Well,
we've never seen anything like this before.
I don't know that I remember a trial on an escape, okay? I will tell you that, because they don't happen that often. Right. But whether they try them all together, try them separately, I mean, if they don't catch these other 2 guys for a long time, they may do that. But it's pretty straightforward. They could just call WVUE and say, please send the video. So it's not something that it's a winnable case. So I would say that there isn't going to be a trial because it's such a slam dunk. They're going to try to just get something done without a trial.
This is just everyone who you talk to, near and far, is just so bizarre to even wrap your head around what's happened here. But we appreciate you trying to help us make some sort of sense of what could happen as people are being recaptured. We appreciate your time this morning.
Okay.
And thanks for letting me throw some curveballs at you.
Oh, that's all right.
All right. All right. Momo. All right, 7:46 now.